Did you watch the debate, though?
Yes, I did.
What'd you think?
I thought that Trump got just out-strategized, outworked. I thought he just got demolished. He was too emotionally volatile. And it's so funny to see. We were talking about this on Flagrant, but there's just like no truth anymore. Like all the conservatives cannot be honest about what happened in the debate. I don't want to say all the conservatives, but like the extreme right-wing voices online cannot be honest about what happened in the debate. They just can't be, right? Like they witnessed it. We all saw it together. And they're like, oh, but the moderators were fact-checking him more. And it's just like, yeah, because he was lying with more egregious, he was taking more egregious steps in the lying. Kamala lies, but with enough truth that like, you can fact check it, but it's technically maybe true, but it isn't, you know, it's not in
Trump
good
is
faith.
like, they're aborting babies at 9 months.
Or after.
And even when the babies come, they execute the babies.
Or after.
What?
Exactly. So but what she did strategically that I thought was so brilliant, because she started off bad, right? She looked nervous, she looked uncomfortable, and he
started off too scripted with the first question. She didn't even answer it. She came out the gate.
She's like, I was raised by a middle school mom. Shut up.
Yeah, that wasn't right.
And he started out phenomenal. He was strong, he was deliberate, he was professional.
I never saw that once.
Oh no, I thought he started out, and I was like, oh,
he was weak and wrong the whole time.
No.
What I text you, Chris? I did. What I text, I said, my God, first round knockout.
This is where you're gonna lose everybody, because I think it's important to not be biased. I think
I'm not being biased.
No, you might not be aware of it, but I think you are being biased.
I am not. Even from the handshake, he ran from the handshake. Schulz.
Now you
look at it.
You paid.
He didn't want to shake her hand.
You paid.
By the way, they said that was the first time there was a handshake. They said that was the first time there was a handshake at like three different debates.
You're paid by the Democrats. You paid.
Say what you want.
You paid.
Look.
You paid.
That looks strong to you?
You paid. The point that I'm trying to make is, if we're being objective, Trump starts out great. He starts out strong.
Never. Where? Don't tell me what he said strong.
Like he starts out calm and he's on point for the things he wants to say.
Okay. I agree with what Alex says 100%.
Right. Okay.
Everything, he's not defensive. He's not emotionally volatile. He is not backpedaling at all. He is moving forward. He is driving. He's in the driver's seat. He has strength and he has confidence. He feels confident and with self-esteem.
Jesus Christ.
Wait for it. Kamala goes, I want to invite you all to one of Trump's rallies.
Before that.
Wait for it.
No, before that.
Let me just get my point out, and then you tell me yours. I want you to invite to his rallies where there are people that are walking out, they are leaving. Trump melts after that.
Melts.
Within 30 seconds of that, he goes, they're eating dogs in Springfield, Ohio. And from the rest of the debate, he is on defense, fighting for his life, trying to stay above water. He cannot be confident. He cannot. And the reason I brought up the confidence, he is feeling insecure. The imposter syndrome is kicking in. He's feeling like he's not taken seriously. And then he falls back to this boorish technique that I think Americans are just over by now. It's just like, the world is falling apart and everything is going to destroy. America sucks. They made America the worst country in the world. And I was telling them on Flagrant, like, you can only tell me my country is trash like a few times before I start going, yo, watch your fucking mouth, yo. Watch your fucking mouth.
Don't back away from your MAGA leader. Don't you dare.
I hate you.
Don't you dare.
I hate that.
I mean, he's the guy.
That's
you
too,
can't
so you
say
can do it.
he was the biggest patriot a month ago, standing up with his fist in the air, flag behind him. You can't tell him he hates the country now.
I hate this. This is why I hate this. This is why. You know what?
Because he doesn't hate the country.
This is why there's no point in being objective, because
you think he hates the country?
No, Charlamagne. What I'm trying to say is, like, the rhetoric is exhausting. This has been the exhausting thing about the rhetoric towards Trump is exhausting too. They're both exhausting. It's exhausting hearing you every week. He's the end of democracy. He's the end of democracy. Democracy's gonna fail.
Don't try to switch it up now. Listen,
it's exhausting.
Listen,
it's exhausting.
Don't try to switch it up now. Welcome to the club, Schulz. I'm glad Schulz finally realizes Donald Trump's rhetoric is old and tired. By the way, the confidence been gone since he got shot at. I've been telling y'all that for 3 weeks.
Which is reasonable.
I've been telling y'all that for 3 weeks. He looks like he doesn't want to do it no more.
It's what you're saying.
What
You
y'all saw last night, I'm like, I saw this for the past
But
month or two.
I never pushed back on you when you
Yeah.
said that. I thought that was good. What I'm doing is right now, I've been someone who is very enticed by Trump. I like the idea that he's not the establishment candidate. I'm kind of annoyed with the establishment. I think if you don't exactly like what's happening in America now, you can't continue to elect the establishment people, because then you're going to get the same thing that's been happening that you don't like. Usually the system is you have a Kamala or you have a Bush. You have a Clinton or you have a Bush. You have an Obama, you have a Bush. You have two people that are going to make sure that the big corporations get their pound of flesh. Trump comes in and then he throws a wrinkle in the system. The corporations go, I don't know if I'm going to get my pound of flesh. Now, it could be that Trump is like, I would love to give you your pound of flesh. Just elect me. I'll give you all the pound of flesh. That could be the case. But they're like, I'm not taking that risk. I want us to put that girl in who's definitely going to give it, or Biden who's definitely going to give it, or any of these past people who are definitely going to give it. So I'm enticed by this person who's an outsider who might change certain things in the country that I would like to be changed. That being said, I can acknowledge if he gets dog walk in a debate.
He got dog walked. And that's why I said, when y'all talk about the confidence and the self-esteem, I haven't seen Trump have confidence and self-esteem in 2 months. From the beginning, when she walked out and walked him down for the handshake, because they said it last night, I forgot what the number was, but he hasn't shaken hands in a debate in like the last 3 or 4
Y'all give
debates.
Kamala all this credit for like doing the littlest shit. It's amazing.
Because it's the little
She put her left foot in front of her right foot and walked straight.
Because
Did you see that? She shook hands with her debate opponent.
You're a comedian, right?
Yeah.
And you know how much stage presence matters. You know where Kamala beat Trump at last night? In the TV world, because all that shit matters. Trump usually wins that battle. Well, Trump usually wins any battle in front of a camera.
I'll tell you why. Without the audience, this is my suspicion on Trump. And I think Chris could probably speak to this much. Trump, as famous and successful as he's been, has not really been taken seriously.
Oh, that's a fact.
He's kind of been
I got billionaire homies in New York who told me that years ago.
Now that's great.
That's a fact.
That's great that you brought that up. He's never really been in.
Never.
And he knows.
Always been a joke to them.
Yes. But he knows, but he wants to be in, desperately wants to be in. And he is incredibly entertaining to people. There's no question, you can't question it. So he justifies his position in the world through the numbers, the amount of people who watch his shows, the billions of dollars, he'll keep telling you, multiple billions of dollars, all the actual buildings that he's erected. Those are the justifications. But deep down, there's a little part of him that feels like he's not accepted by his contemporaries.
That's a fact.
Okay? When she said that people are walking out of the rallies, that imposter syndrome kicked up big. And the emotional volatility came after that. He's like, wait a minute. Are people going to know it's the king's clothing or whatever that?
The emperor wears no clothes.
The emperor wears no clothes. It's like, are people going to think that? Are people going to know that this is a facade?
But he knows.
But here's the thing. Regardless of if he thinks that he's an imposter or not, he's made a company that made billions of fucking dollars. He became president of the United States. He's accomplished more than most humans will ever accomplish in history.
Still didn't get the respect.
But that's what I'm saying. There's a little thing in his head going, hey, am I not taken seriously? When she said that, I think it tapped into that. Now, here's the thing. When he has a live audience, okay, he can charm and entertain that audience, much like a comedian can charm and tape the audience. And that audience laughing quiets that little insecurity in a comedian's brain. Am I funny?
I don't know if he does it with this set, though.
Well, look, I'm going to get to that. When a comedian gets that laugh, we're like, oh, yeah, I am funny. That's right. I am. Of course. The imposter syndrome is gone. I believe it 100%. When he's debating without an audience, and she says something like that, and he doesn't have the audience to laugh and make him feel good and make him feel loved and uplift him and quiet that little voice of insecurity in his head, he starts to melt. And she found the thing to say, and he could not emotionally recover from that.
Is that why he went on his podcast tour the past month, to learn how to entertain in front of an audience?
Without the audience. You're saying without the audience.
Without an audience,
yeah, without the audience. Maybe. I mean, I just think that podcasting is just where the people are now.
That too.
But I genuinely think Yeah, so that was the argument that I was trying to make. Yeah.
Play the clip, because it was. You're right about the line she said about the.
But you said there was something
rally.
before.
It was right, but it was a bar right before.
What she said?
First of all, every trap she laid for Trump, he fell for. That's why I'm telling you, the handshake. One of the most important things Kamala did last night was everything she did off camera. When she walked up to him and went after him for the handshake. Like, he kept going and tried to go find his podium. She was like, no. What's up? Kamala Harris, let's have a nice debate. Wow, right? That frazzled him a little bit. I know it did, because he was like, oh, she's not scared of me in any way, shape, or form. And every time they had the cameras on her when he was talking and she wasn't, it was beautiful. Yep. She was like, he's lying. He's lying. He's like shaking his head no. Meanwhile, go back to Biden.
Yeah.
She was engaged. It was like offense, defense. She was engaged on both sides of the ball every single time. Play the clip right before she talks about the rallies. It's the same piece, but is it this one? She said right before that, you're going to hear this guy lie tonight, unprompted, about basically her stance on immigration. Mm. That's what said it. Mm. And then she goes, but let me tell you this. And then she went into the rally thing.
And I'll tell you something. He's going to talk about immigration a lot tonight, even when it's not the subject that is being raised. And I'm going to actually do something really unusual, and I'm going to invite you to attend one of Donald Trump's rallies, because it's a really interesting thing to watch. You will see during the course of his rallies, he talks about fictional characters like Hannibal Lecter. He will talk about windmills cause cancer. And what you will also notice is that people start leaving his rallies early out of exhaustion and boredom. And I will tell you, the one thing you will not hear him talk about is you. You will not hear him talk about your needs, your dreams, and your desires. And I'll tell you, I believe you deserve a president who actually puts you first, and I pledge to you that I will.
So it was a two-piece that he got hit with, because he was like, oh shit, that is part of my motherfucking game plan, to come in here and just keep bringing up her record on the border for no reason.
He had already started the game plan.
Yes! Yep. And she shut that shit down immediately from the
Eminem
gate.
8 Mile.
It was an Eminem and 8 Mile.
Yep.
Not really, because she's not taking the power out of his hands by saying, yeah, I'm bad at the border.
But took away a lot of his arsenal by saying, look, this is what he's going to say.
She's going to say, he's going to say lies about my record. Yeah.
She knew that with the border, there's only one hit she could deliver, because it's the actual hit. The actual hit is Republicans and Democrats created a bipartisan bill, and Donald Trump shot it down because he didn't want the Biden administration to get any credit for doing anything at the border. She knew she could only deliver that once. So if he was going to just keep bringing it up over and over and over, you fucking deflate that by setting the table early to let everybody know this is what he's going to do. And guess what he did? He ended up staying away from it. He didn't go at it. He ended up staying away from it.
Completely outclassed him in every single way, but most importantly, out-strategized him in the debate. I can say that objectively as someone who's not a Kamala supporter.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't really heard much from her policy-wise that I'm like, I really like this. I think this is great, and I want to support this.
You don't support rebuilding the middle class?
They've been rebuilding the middle class for the last 40 years. Does it feel rebuilt yet? This is what they say every single election cycle, right?
Yeah, but I don't know what the middle class is anymore.
There you go.
I think we might be middle class.
We might be.
I'm not even joking.
No, we might be.
I'm not even joking. I think we might be middle class.
Y'all not middle class. Right?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not joking, yo. I was looking at this chart the other day, and that shit.
He's not middle class.
I'm not sure, bro.
Right,
I'm really.
You know how many people you
yo.
pissing off right now?
I'm just
the
telling
whole
you the
middle
truth.
class.
I'm not sure. I was looking at this chart the other day. You saw that chart that Duval posted?
Nah.
We might be middle class, yo.
But okay, you're not. I know that for a fact. The rest of us might be, but you're not. For sure.
Hey, you're lying. You're lying right now. You're telling the people that there's dogs being eaten in Ohio. Okay, I've been to your shows. All right.
You don't think there's one dog being eaten in Ohio? Like, what an absurd thing to say, that not a singular dog is being eaten. Of course, somebody's crazy and eating a fucking dog. It might not be the migrants, but listen, somebody's gonna eat a dog.
I would give, if Donald Trump had did anything good last night, I would give him his props. I've done it before. There was nothing good last night. And you said something about the right-wing pundits on social media. Pleasantly surprised that Fox News last night Fox News last night was giving it up.
I think even Elon was like, he'll do better next time or something like that.
There's not going to be no next time.
Well,
I don't think he would debate her again. Especially after his rhetoric today saying, hey, she only wants a rematch because I beat her. The polls are saying I beat her 92-8. What polls are saying that?
So here's a perfect example. If you are a Republican and you actually care about your party.
Talk that talk.
If you say that he did a good job in the debate, he will not change anything in the future. And the reality is, even though you might be, proud of his performance or whatever he said, somebody in the middle, and I can speak on behalf of someone in the middle and a bunch of my friends that are also in the middle, all felt unanimously that he got destroyed by Kamala. So you have to take that into account. If you are right wing and you think he did a good job, you're already voting for him. That's not going to change anything. Those people in the middle thought he did not do a good job. You need to hold him accountable if he has a chance of winning another debate. And in my personal opinion, he needs to have another one in order to convince those people in the middle, because that was not.
Here's the thing, Schulz. Here's the thing. And this is what all conservatives, all MAGA supporters need to just understand. You bet on the wrong horse, you ran the wrong horse. Nikki Haley said it the best when she said the first party to get rid of their 80-year-old candidate was probably going to win this fucking election. There is no way in hell in 2024 Donald Trump, with all the baggage he has, just put all the baggage he has, should be running. The oldest candidate ever with all that baggage, talking so incoherent. Let's be honest, he sounds retarded. Let's just old school R word.
No.
He sounds retarded.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
See, this is
Nikki Haley.
This is where you
Chris
lose
Christie.
people.
I'm just telling you the truth.
No,
Nikki
it's what
Haley,
you
Chris
think.
Christie would be better candidates than Donald Trump.
But they didn't get there.
But they should have did what the Democrats did. And realize, hey, and this is where you got to give Democrats props. I call Democrats cowards, been calling them cowards, but this is where you got to give them props. They weren't delusional about their candidate after a while. They were delusional for a long time. But once they got to that debate and they realized, like, holy shit, this guy really don't have it no more. We got to get rid of him. That's what Republicans should be thinking right now. And it might be too late. I don't know. We've seen stranger things happen in America.
I don't think there's that much of an outpour of people saying, nah, he's too old, he needs to stop.
Well, that's because people are delusional.
But you're also
For Biden,
suggesting
they were,
them
though.
to pull a coup just like the Democrats did.
Oh, God.
And that's not that's not democracy. That's not the system.
All right. It wasn't a coup. But my point is, that's the wrong candidate. You like what you saw yesterday? We just had a first week one of football. There's a lot of quarterbacks we're looking at. And we're like, that person don't have it no more. They need to be pulled.
Have I not spoken very clearly about how I affect? You just asked me, do I like what I saw yesterday? I thought that I've spoken like very
But
clearly
you want
about
to put them
what I
back
saw.
out there for week 2.
It's not whether I want to put them back out there. The American people want him to be there. That is the reality of the matter. He has the support of the American people. He has more support
Let's look up the poll. Because there was 70% of people who didn't want a Biden-Trump rematch. So Biden's gone.
What I'm saying is within the Republican Party, they primary. He won the primary.
Yeah.
So the American people have chosen. It's not whether I like him. It's not whether the party likes him. I understand that Democrats will rig the primaries. The Republicans...
Kamala won the primary.
Exactly. So the Republicans will not rig the primaries in the way that the Democrats. So they stole it from Bernie. They removed Biden effectively, and they'll put in their candidate. The Republicans don't do that. The benefit of that is you get the people's choice. The negative of that,
the people's choice might be wrong. And if the people's choice is wrong, and you think you're going to lose in November, then you do what the fucking Democrats did. Real patriots, New England, baby, deflate gates, cheat, motherfuckers. If you're not, I've been waiting for my Dallas Cowboys to cheat for 20 plus years. I don't give a fuck if they cheated or not. I really, truly don't care. Okay, run the best candidate, because guess what? The American people deserve better. Play the clip from Fox News. I thought this was great because by the way, I watch all the news networks for this exact reason. And I was pleasantly surprised at what Fox News did last night. I was like, oh, okay.
Vice President Harris was clearly well prepared, practiced on the offensive much of the night. Former President Trump did take a lot of the bait that she threw out.
Make no mistake about it, Trump had a bad night. He rose to the debate repeatedly when she baited him, something I'm sure his advisors had begged him not to do. And we heard so many of the old grievances that we'd long thought that Trump had learned were not winners politically. And there they all were, talking about how he didn't lose the election and all that. I mean, so my sense is that she came out of this in pretty good shape. But for tonight, at least, this was pretty much her night.
You're saying she had a good night?
I'm saying she certainly did.
This what has to be thought of by supporters of Donald Trump and people in that campaign as a disappointment. I got reaction from Republican friends. The two common things were train wreck and he needs this to end. She conveyed the calm. She conveyed a preparation. She was tenacious on Russia. She had clarity about the future of the country. He was a little too gloomy, I thought. And when asked, I saw around the table, I've never heard Donald Trump not be definitive about a set of plans. He said, I have concepts of a plan. Here we are, 56 days from an election. You've been president before. He's got to recover from this.
This was rough. This was pretty intense at times. She started off shaky. She regained her footing. You watch this thing, if you're a Democrat, you're like, oh, she did a great job. You're a Republican, you look at this and you're like, that's Donald Trump. He had some moments where you were like, oh my God, where are we going with this?
But he missed more opportunities. And he took all the bait and none of the opportunities. She pivoted better.
Did Donald Trump miss a few opportunities? Absolutely.
Tonight, she won.
What's crazy is for Donald Trump's talking point the last few weeks is Kamala Harris don't have no policies. Kamala Harris don't have no plan. He even brought it up in the beginning of the debate. She don't have no plan. Just look up on her website. She just put it up a few hours ago. Her plans are just Biden, but she just changed a few words. But then when you're asked about a plan, you say you don't have a plan. You have a concept of a plan.
Yeah.
My God. Yeah. My God. Listen, I guarantee you if Republicans thought they could pull him, they pull him. And I don't know if they still can. I don't know if they still can.
But that's not democracy.
Who gives a fuck? Why do you keep bringing up this fucking D word? Okay, what is the point? What are you talking about? Who gives a fuck? What are you talking about?
You can't do that.
What are you talking? Who can't do what? I'm not doing anything.
I'm
just an American citizen. Okay, I'm giving what they're giving us. I have nothing to do with any of it.
But like a couple weeks ago, you're saying, if Trump wins, it's the end of democracy.
It is. Listen, if I was Trump and I get back in that motherfucker, I ain't going nowhere either. Okay? I'm pardoning myself. I'm making sure that my family is good. Y'all ain't doing shit to me. And you already know what he's already told you what he's gonna do. He said this week, I'm locking up all my political opponents.
Yeah. Fire.
All of them.
I like that shit.
Single one of them.
I fuck with that.
Man.
No, man.
Listen, man.
I definitely fuck with that.
I think he started off good, on message, calm. And
what was the message? I'm really asking.
But like what you pointed out just now, like how she didn't have policy. It just got up on her website, blaming her for Biden's track record, and then I think he closed out very well. I think it's the only two things he did well.
I agree that he sounded calm, but he didn't sound confident. That's why I disagree.
But at least
he sounded shaky. It was almost like one of those things where you ever been arguing with somebody and you know the person has a tendency to go off, so you're just trying to be easy because you don't either want to cause them to blow up. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Or cause them to say something to you that's gonna cause you to blow up.
Yeah.
He seemed like he was being very, very safe.
But both of them were. Like, she was shaky too in the beginning.
And she after the scripted shit, she went on the offense.
That's what I'm saying.
And he couldn't recover.
Yeah.
That's just what it was. She went on the offense and had him on his back feet the whole rest
Nobody's
of the night.
denying that. What we're saying is that he started off strong, she started off weak. She did her first strategic move. It landed bullseye, and he could not recover from it.
I was texting everybody. I text Chris. I said, "This is a first-round knockout," because I could see by his demeanor.
Yeah,
and I could see what she was doing. Now she started off too scripted. I was like, "All right, that's too scripted." But that second point, pop. I was like, "Oh, he's hurt."
Yeah,
and I was like, "It's over."
That's why I said go into the prevent defense. I wanted her to pull back.
No, yeah. It was Chris like pull back. I'm like, why?
Nah, you got to put your foot on his neck.
Exactly.
I think people get uncomfortable when they see
you just don't believe in her. That's the thing.
Well,
if you believed in her, you would say
I believe in her a lot more after the debate. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. So
she impressed me.
Here's my feeling: like, if you go in prevent, it's because you don't believe in your defense.
Yeah.
Well, no, I think it's more my concern about, I think there's still something about a woman, especially a woman of color, really giving it to somebody like Trump that all of a sudden makes some people uncomfortable.
Who gives a fuck?
Yeah. I want their vote.
At this point,
I want their vote. That's why I give a
the vice
fuck.
president has no reason to play it safe. None.
It
None
works.
whatsoever.
Hey,
I'm her.
yeah.
I'm doubling down and tripling
That's
down
right.
on what I just did.
That's right.
Show
It's-
strength.
That's the right strategy.
You know, like if you really have confidence, you believe you are that person. Now, if you believe that that is all scripted for her and concocted and she just executed it good for the night, but she can't do that on the day to day, then you got to shelf her. But if she's really that motherfucker, you got to let her rip.
I have told y'all.
I was wrong. I'll eat
I
it.
told
I
y'all
was wrong.
she's that motherfucker. That was her. The shit that I've been talking about, the shit that I've written about in my books, about how the language of politics is dead because of Donald J. Trump, she is a person that can execute that to the fullest. Not only have I been on the receiving end of that kind of rhetoric, on air and off air, that is who she is all the time. I give her, if, on the scale, I probably give her I give her a 7 or 8 of where she could actually take it. She let him off the hook a lot last night.
Yeah, she did.
When he said this shit about they've done nothing with student loans. They told y'all that they could relieve student loan debt. They've done nothing.
Yeah.
Like, that's just a lie. Like, that's just a complete and total lie. She could just say the number. You know how many people I know personally who have had their student loan debts wiped away? $100,000, $20,000, $50,000. She could have just said the number. I was like, why did she just let him off the hook with that?
Yeah.
But she seemed like she pivoted to a different point, even though that was just a quick thing. Like, hey, that's a lie. We gave I think it was like $160 billion in student loan debt relief. But she let him off the hook with that. Other place was in the beginning, where I thought she sounded way too scripted. There was another part she didn't answer the question either. I can't remember where it was. But it didn't matter because she kept the conversation where she wanted the conversation.
Yeah, she controlled it.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just.
I'm surprised she didn't go in the bag of like convicted felon. Like she
did.
only one time.
That's all you need, though.
I'm saying she could have peppered him throughout the entire thing.
She was too busy telling the American people what she was going to do for the American people.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like, she laid out her whole opportunity economic plan. Told them how much money you're going to get if you're a new homeowner. Told them how much money you're going to get if you want to start a small business. She laid all of that out. That's what people want to hear.
Yeah.
I believe in what we can do to strengthen our small businesses, which is why I have a plan. Let's talk about our plans and let's compare the plans. I have a plan to give startup businesses $50,000 tax deduction, to pursue their ambitions, their innovation, their ideas, their hard work. I have a plan, $6,000 for young families for the first year of your child's life, to help you in that most critical stage of your child's development. I have a plan that is about allowing people to be able to pursue what has been fleeting in terms of the American dream by offering a help with down payment of $25,000 down payment assistance for first-time home buyers. That's the kind of conversation, I believe, David, that people really want tonight, as opposed to a conversation that is constantly about belittling and name-calling. Let's turn the page.
When the radio people was calling the radio station this morning, they said that's what they felt like they didn't get from Trump. And when Trump specifically tells people, I don't have a plan.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I have what did he call it?
A concept.
A concept of a plan. That's what so many men tell women after summer's over. When you're having your summer fling, and then women want the summer fling to turn into something for the fall and the winter, what are we? Are we in a relationship?
We're in a concept of a
relationship. You know what I mean? That shit don't fly, bro.
Yeah, I know.
That shit don't fly.
I was at a watch party, like at a bar, and when he said that, all the Republicans just like face palm. They
Really?
just shook their head. They were so tight, man.
Democrats were on it for the most part. There was a lot of motherfuckers still lying after the debate. But for the most part, the Democrats that mattered were honest. They were honest enough that they got him out of there within a week. People got to start being honest. They got to start being honest. Is this the person that you want? And by the way, the election hasn't been won yet. No need for motherfuckers to spike the football.
Of course not.
The election has not been won. But I don't see him growing his base. That debate last night wasn't for the bases. The bases have made up their mind. That was for the undecideds. That was for the independents. I think there's a lot of undecideds and independents that's like, we voting blue this election. They said that she raised $6 million or $7 million in the first hour, and 71% of the donors were women.
Wow.
Why do you think that was?
That's another thing.
Because this motherfucker's talking about aborting babies at 9 months.
Right. Or after birth.
And after birth. That's not an abortion, it's a murder.
Yeah. After the debate, I saw multiple people immediately go to their phone and donate it.
Wow.
Multiple people in the bar did it. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Immediately right after the debate.
I mean, look, the economy
Who's
is the
that?
biggest issue. What's that?
The female moderator.
Her name is Lindsay Davis.
Stunning.
Salute to Lindsay. Lindsay interviewed me on ABC News.
Absolutely stunning.
Yeah, Lindsay did a good job. I thought they both did a good job. I thought it was brilliant that they kept letting that they kept breaking the rules for Trump. Because I was the person who said they should have just kept the mics open the whole time. Because you know he's going to do that. Every time he started talking off mic, they turned his mic on. Because they knew he was just going to be saying some wild shit.
Yeah.
Let him.
But the moderators are like an interesting example of how people just see these things through their own prism, right? Because I was watching right-wing Twitter and the narrative was it's Trump versus Harris and ABC.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's all you saw. But then if you went to like the far left, it was like ABC's against Trump. They keep letting him talk over her and they're not turning on her mic, but turning. So everyone's just kind of like filtering this through.
I mean, I can see it both ways, right? Like I
thought they actually did a fair job across the board.
They didn't jump him because they were just simply fact checking him. It's a fact check.
They fact checked him heavier than I've seen in other debates, no doubt.
But they turned his mic on, and that wasn't supposed to happen. Every time he talked off mic, they turned his mic on. To me, that's what people should be saying. Like, oh, they want him to embarrass himself. Like instead of looking at it and saying, oh, he's cheating. Are they cheating for Trump? They should be like, no, they're letting him embarrass himself.